Greetings. Welcome to this video session. Today in this session, what we are going to discuss is regarding performance. So what is the meaning of performance? So under the physical layer, we are focusing this performance, and here the performance will be measured. Here the performance in the sense the network performance. The network performance will be measured in the sense that there are some parameters in which we can able to measure the performance of the network. So here the performance in the sense that whenever the user wanted to send some data, it has to be delivered to the destination here before delivering without compromising any data, right? Without compromising in the sense that without dropping any packet, it has to be delivered to the destination. And second requirement is it has to be delivered to the destination in a speedy manner. So the delay should be minimized. And here the entire content which wanted to send by the source need to be forwarded to the destination. To measure these things, right? So here one of the important parameter is performance. So here under the performance there are so many parameter we wanted to focus. One of the parameter is bandwidth. So here this also a important factor to measure the performance of the network. Here the bandwidth can be represented in two different contexts. One is bandwidth in hertz and another one is bandwidth in bits per second, right? In the terms of hertz, so what is the actual range, the coverage range or the frequency, right? Each and every radio channel will be having a frequency. In which frequency this particular FM or any that is a channel will be functioning. That is called the bandwidth. So here based on this the capacity of the hertz, the coverage area will be there. So here if larger frequencies are there, that is hertz are there, then it will cover more number of users can access that hertz. But if suppose it is having a less number of frequency, then less number of people alone will be able to access. So the people who are nearer to that range or out of that range can able to hear, but more disturbance will be there. That is the one way in which the bandwidth is measured. So each and every radio station will be functioning based on this hertz, right? And another one is while transmitting a data, how much of information we can able to transfer in a second, how many number of bits can be transferred from source to destination. That is also measured in terms of bandwidth. So bandwidth can be measured in terms of hertz and it is also measured in terms of bits per second. The term bandwidth can also refer to the number of bits per second that a channel or a link or even a network can transmit. For example, if you take that Ethernet, right, it is a medium in which you are going to transfer your data and the capacity of the Ethernet is 100 Mbps, that is nothing but 100 million bits per second. So here maximum it can able to send 100 million bits per second. So that is the first parameter. Under the performance, bandwidth is the first parameter to measure the network performance. Then the second one is throughput. Right, there is more correlation between bandwidth and throughput. I will tell you what is the basic difference between these two. The throughput is a measure of how fast we can actually send data through a network. So for example, I am sending 100 bits, then entire 100 bits has to be received by the receiver. Then we can say that the throughput is very good. And here, let us assume that there is a basic difference between bandwidth and throughput. So let us assume a bandwidth of a link may be B bits per second. But we can only send T bits per second. Always this T should be less than B. So let us assume that a link will have the bandwidth of 100 million bits per second. But at particular period of time, we can able to send only 2 million bits per second. Then that is 2 million bits per second is a throughput and 100 million bits per second is a what? It is a bandwidth. So entire capacity we cannot able to use because there is some restriction. Multiple number of users are sharing the bandwidth. That is one of the reason. And not only we are sending the data, we are sending some control information. We have seen in 7 layers. Each and every layer has to forward a header and trailer. Is it not? So header and trailer will have some occupy some space. That also included in the bandwidth. So the entire bandwidth cannot be utilized for data transmission alone. That is the reason why T is nothing but the throughput and B is nothing but the bandwidth. Always this T should be less than B, right? So that the bandwidth is the potential measurement of a link and the throughput is the actual measurement how fast we can send the data. What is the actual capacity of the data that can be transferred from source to destination? That is throughput. So you should understand the basic difference between bandwidth and throughput, right? So for example, in a theater that there are 100 seats are available, that is bandwidth. On particular day, particular time, only 50 users are there for coming for watching a film. So in that case, that is called throughput, right? Throughput is 50, but bandwidth is 100. That is a basic difference between bandwidth and throughput. So this is also one of the important parameter in terms of measuring the performance of the network. And here, for example, we may have a link with 1 Mbps, but the device connected to the end of the link may handle only 2 kilobits per second. So then we cannot send more than 200 kilobits per second through this link. See here, what is the meaning of bandwidth here? Here is, so assume that there is one sender and there is one receiver. The connection between these sender and receiver is called as a link. The capacity of the link is 1 million bits per second. But this sender can able to send only 200 kilobits per second means then the capacity will be occupying only 200 kilobits per second. Even though it is having 1 million bits per second, it can able to transmit at particular period of time because of the sender capabilities only having to send 200 kilobits per second, then that alone can be sent. In another example, assume that in a highway, right? So there is a bridge and at particular period of time, the maximum capacity of the bridge is it can pass 100 cars per minute. So here that is the maximum capacity of the bridge. So 1000 cars can be passed at particular period of time. In a per minute, the 1000 cars can pass, right? But because of congestion, more traffic in the road. So here at one period of time, only 100 cars can transmit per minute. So in that case, the bandwidth is 1000 car per minute and the throughput is only 100 cars per minute. That is the basic difference between bandwidth and throughput. And here there is one problem is asked. A network bandwidth of 10 million bits per second can pass only an average of 12,000 frames per minute. So in a minute, it can able to send 12,000 frames per minute and it is having 10,000, that is 10 million bits per second. So here we are converting this millions of bits per second into what? Kilobits per second. So it will be multiplied into 1000. So that is 10,000. So how many frames we can send? We can send 12,000 frames. And here it will be, right, the 10,000, the carrying average is 10,000 bits. So 12,000 into 10,000 divided by how many seconds? That is a per minute. Per minute means 60 seconds. So in a second only 2 million bits per second can able to transmit. Even though it is having a 10 million bits per second, the actual bandwidth, but there is a bandwidth, measuring bandwidth, but actually we can able to send only 2 million bits per second. So here only 1/5 of the bandwidth can be utilized. So 10 million bits per second, this is the designated bandwidth, and we at the particular period of time we can able to send only 2 million bits per second. So 1/5 of the actual bandwidth alone we are utilizing. The designated bandwidth alone we are using. So 10 million bits per second is the designated bandwidth. And here this is the actual bandwidth which we are using. So 1/5 of the bandwidth alone can be used. So here this is called as a throughput. By using this only we can able to accurately measure the performance of the network. So even though the link may be having a higher bandwidth, the end system is not having the capability to send that much speed, means then no use of having that bandwidth. So that I am telling throughput is more important than for calculating the performance of the network than bandwidth. And another important parameter for measuring the performance of the network is latency. So latency is nothing but the delay. So how long a machine or a system is taking time to forward an entire message from source to destination. That is from first bit to last bit. So the entire information or entire message need to be transmitted from source to destination. That is how much time the system is taking. That is called as a latency or delay. So under this latency there are different timing, measurement timing will be there. So one is propagation time. So plus transmission time, plus queuing time, plus processing delay. All four together only we can able to measure the latency. So what is the meaning of propagation time? So propagation time is a measure the time required for a bit to travel from source to destination. We know very well that the message is not having a single bit. Multiple number of bit will be there. So how much of time a bit is taking from source to reach at the destination, that is called as a what? Propagation time. So the distance is very important. If distance is large, the bit will take more time. The distance is less, the bit will take less time. Is it not? So always the propagation time will be measured based on distance. So the propagation time will be calculated distance divided by propagation speed. In which speed you are traveling, that is also, or the bit is traveling, that is also very important. The distance as well as the speed. For example, here the one problem is given. So what is the propagation time if the distance between 2 points is 12,000 km? So we are assuming that propagation speed is 2.4 into 108 million, that is milliseconds in cable. So that is the speed. So here you are going to calculate the propagation time. So in terms of millisecond, right? 12,000 into, right? Why we are converting into meter? That is 1,000 kilometers. That is 1 kilometer is 1,000 meter. So we will be multiplying with 10,000, and here we will be getting 50 millisecond. So in this way, the distance as well as the speed is very important for calculating the propagation time. Then second one is transmission time. I already told the message consists of multiple number of bits. The first bit will be starting earlier so that it will reach at the destination earlier. The last bit will start at late so that it will arriving late. The transmission time is the time taken by the first bit up to last bit is the transmission time. The entire message need to be transferred from source to destination. Let us assume that there are 8 bits in a message. The first bit will start at 10 and it will reach at 10:05. The second bit, it cannot start before 10. It can able to start, let us assume that it start at 10:02. Right? So here the first bit will assume the first bit will reach at 10:05. Then second bit will reach at 10:07. The third bit will reach at 10:09. Like that the delay will be there. So based on the sending time, the receiving time is also delayed. Right? So the entire message need to be transferred. Right? A message will consist of 8 bits, means all the 8 bits need to be transferred from source to destination. That time, or finding out the time for sending total 8 bits from sender to receiver is called as a transmission time. So the transmission time will be purely depends on the size of the message and the capacity of the channel or bandwidth capacity of the channel. So transmission time equal to message size divided by bandwidth. In this way we can calculate transmission time. And the queuing time, it is also one of the delay. Why we are saying that queuing time is also considered for calculating the performance of the network? Because we know very well where queue will be used in the switches or the routers. So whenever the router is very busy, it cannot able to receive the data. So all the received data will be stored in the queue, and once whatever the data which is available in the router will be transmitted, after that the data item which is present in the queue will be taken for transmission. So how much of time the data item is residing in the queue? That is called queuing time. So the third component in latency is queuing time. The time needed for each intermediate or end device to hold the message before it can be processed. So before it can be processed means before it can be handed over to the end user for processing. The queuing time is not a fixed factor. Why? Because we do not know when the router is congested, when the router is free. When the router is free, then it can be transmitted. But when the router is busy, then we cannot able to forward data. So all our data will be residing in the temporarily residing in the queue. Right? So if there is a heavy traffic on the network, the queuing time increases. The delay will increase because our data will be stored in the router, and after traffic is reduced, the data will be taken from the queue and it will be processed. An intermediate device such as router queues the arrived message and process them one by one. So it is purely based on first come first serve. So here for example, the queue capacity is 100 packet it can able to store means then the different links will be there. All the links will forward the data. So actual data will be forwarded through the network. So beyond certain level if data comes, then those packets will be stored in the queue. So it is purely based on first come first serve. So it will be stored, and after the traffic is reduced, it will be taken from the queue and it will be forwarded to other devices or end system. So that time, the time taken by the packet to reside in the queue is called as a queuing time. So if many messages are there, each message has to wait, or each packet has to wait for processing. So that is one of the parameter to measure the performance, right? The queuing time. And before talking about the jitter, so I will tell you what is the basic difference between jitter. And here there are four parameters we discuss. What are they? Propagation time, transmission time, then we discussed queuing time. The fourth one is processing delay. So here processing delay is nothing but, so we have handed over the packet to the router. The router will extract information from the queue and then it has to process. It may take 1 or 2 seconds. That time is called as a processing delay. How much of time a device is taking to process our information, that is also considered to be a delay in what? The performance can be, the latency can be measured. So the latency will be measured based on four important parameters. One is propagation time, second one is transmission time, then third one is queuing time, and fourth one is processing delay. See, all four is responsible for calculating a latency or delay. And last one in terms of performance is jitter. So here by seeing that we can understand that jitter is also nothing but it is one type of delay. But there is a difference between latency and jitter. So here as far as jitter is concerned, so we know very well that in a network layer, the packet will be transmitted from source to destination by following a different route. Am I correct? So because if one route is busy, we will be finding out alternate route to transfer our data. How we can know that the particular router is or the route is busy or it is congested? So we are sending one packet and that packet is not reached at the destination on time. Then we will assume that that packet, because of congestion, the packet may not be reached at the destination. So first packet I am sending and I found out there is a delay. So what I am doing, I am sending the second packet by using another route. Is it not? So here the delay will vary for each and every packet. So for example, you are sending an audio and video. Sometimes we also come across this situation. So here we are sending some audio and video. combined information, video will reach early, but audio will be coming late. So there is no correlation between the video and audio. The image will be different or the picture will be different and the audio sound will be totally different. The delay will be more in audio. There is no synchronization between video and audio. That is called jitter. Right? So here there is no synchronization between audio and video. So audio is coming earlier, video is coming earlier and audio is coming late. That is called as a jitter. So for example, if the delay, I already told jitter is also a delay. The first packet may take 20 milliseconds and second packet may take 45 milliseconds because it is following a different route. And third packet may follow 40 milliseconds. We do not know. Right? In real-time application, these packets may occur or may fall into the delay of jitter because it is forwarded to different packet will be forwarded to different path or route. Because of that, the delay may be vary. So that is called as a jitter. So these are the parameters which are necessary for measuring the performance of the network. So when you talk about performance, there are four important things we need to remember. One is bandwidth. Then what is the second one? Second one is the throughput. And third one is the latency. And fourth one is the jitter. So as far as latency is concerned, it is measured based on propagation time, transmission time, queuing time and processing delay. So here by measuring all these things, by adding all these things only we can say that there is a latency or jitter in the performance of the network. So whenever we are talking about network, the performance is very important. Sometimes there is always, it is general also. So when we want to achieve something, then we wanted to put more effort. Is it not? So if you don't want to achieve anything means you need not put any effort. Here if you want to achieve one thing, you wanted to compromise another thing. The same concept is adapted in network also. If you want to deliver the information in a faster manner, you can compromise certain qualities. Because fast manner you are transferring a packet. What will happen? Some packet may be lost. Because of that loss, what you will do? You will ask the source to send the packet once again. So it will create a delay. So whenever you need fast data transmission, you will be losing the quality. Or if you feel that I need highest 100% reliability, whatever the packet which is forwarded by the sender need to be received at the destination. I need highest quality. Then you wanted to compromise the delay. So you have to accept the delay. The 100 packet I wanted to send means the entire 100 packet need to be received by the receiver, and here if there is a congestion in the network, it will be stored in the queue, then only it will be forwarded and it may follow different route, it will take time. So when you need the quality, then you wanted to compromise the time, and when you focus speed or time, then you wanted to compromise the quality. Everything cannot be get in the network. So here the performance is very important as far as network is concerned. So the measurement of network will be purely depends on the performance. This performance is purely depends on these four parameters. What are they? Bandwidth, throughput, latency and jitter. Thank you.